which are some of the albums that you guys consider like your holy grail that, you know?
Hip-hop or outside?
Zonke bonke.
Okay, asishere le no baf.
Yeah.
Qale mina.
Sure.
Mambusa Mhlongo. Urban Zulu.
Yes.
That is probably the most important album for us.
Yeah.
Because it sets the tone for what we go on to do sonically and blueprint wise.
Yeah.
Right? I think the Urban Tuman and the sound that we're doing right now is not even a reinvention of the Urban Zulu because but it's just an extension of it. It's just another variation of it, growing from it. When we heard that album, you know, there's a lot of umsebenzi awenzayo. There's works that he does with Umshonishu Usipho Kumete. But that album specifically is so crazy because the sonics alapa, the subject matter that she speaks on and the manner of approach is crazy. I mean, a couple of joints there, Ihlisana umoya ma-Afrika, Sinizizwe, Uganga ngengane, you know, there's Yapheli Imali Yami, there's, you know, even thinking about it now, the moment we heard that, you know, because we had grown into knowing what we wanted to do, we just couldn't figure out where to go sonically, like where to plant our roots and how. So grassroots level, that album then inspires everything. So Mambusa Mhlongo, Urban Zulu, it's actually out now, but it's remastered. Yeah. Because I think it came last year, the 2024 version. It's now remastered. So go check it out if you are into that, and then it'll probably make sense why we make the music that we make from a sonic standpoint.
Right.
Then I'm gonna veer off. I'm gonna say Ibuto, Zola. Trust me. You know, so with the Zola, it's incredible also because you don't notice some of these things when you're young.
Yeah.
Right? You're able to pick them up almost so coolly. You're like, oh, it's Kwame Stile. This ngitatala. Or this ngitatala.
Yeah.
So what fascinates us also with Uzola is, again, how ambidextrous he is, right? Uzola is like, this nigga, when I first came across, I'm like, this nigga's a thug. This man is cool. This nigga, boo, that's the greatest intro ever, right? Of all time for me. When you speak about South Africa, I think about that. I'm like, play that, right? And then the greatest outro, funny enough, there's a part that he does when he stars. I'm like, oh my God, this man,
powerful.
Trust me, man, trust me. You can't fabricate that. So, Uzola Ibutu, and for the most part, you know, I know we were fascinated by how, because he, especially, it's a big valley, but we predominantly spend our time Orange Farm, Elokshin, right?
Yeah.
So, pretty young, you're able to figure out like, okay, this place does not need me to be soft if I'm gonna survive, right? So I was always, or we're always just fascinated by the fact that, okay, this man comes from a place. Zola, I know Zola. Zola is not too different. It's a hood, right? So I understand your Mdlembes, right? Where does he get the bag to do something like Stars or Don't Believe on that level, right? And then in the same, you know, bag, you know, on Ibutu, this man is just, I'm like, oh, this man is just a musical man.
Or the
right?
Ibutu itself.
Yeah. Dog, trust me. So it's that, right? He's so, you're like, okay. I can be manly, I can be masculine, right? But when the moment, you know, demands it, I am able to just like strip down and be vulnerable, those things, right? So I was able to just notice that when we got older. I'm like, oh, it's Kwame Skanje started from this guy.
Yeah.
Right? So it was incredible. So Ibuto, Zola. And then I think one final one would probably be Mashapu Mamba, the Black Excellence Show. Shout out Mashapu Mamba. There's a joint there called Impendulo Kababa. It's a crazy, go listen, go bump that project. It's actually on Apple Music right now. Waibuyisela. Sikhala ngayo sithi buyisela ama-album ku-project wayibuyisele egcineni. So I think ubafu sekubale konke, you know, and you realize these things musukhulile. Like for example, Uzola, what strikes me the most about that individual is the level of the authenticity.
Yep.
You know, it's probably the reason why, even till this day, when I hang around some of the people that I hang around with, because umuntu nje ongathi unama vibe aseceleni ngimbona from good.
Yeah.
Yabo. So when you meet individuals that you feel like are authentic, like I remember the first time I met Umtizo, I was like, wow.
Yes.
Give me the mic. Nigga. Give me the mic. Nigga. Umtizo is like, you know, the first time I ever heard Umtizo, first I was jealous because I'm like, this motherfucker's figured it out. He knows who he is. Fuck this nigga. You know? And the reason why also I mention Umtizo is because when I really think of Uzola, Umtizo is like a breed of Uzola and Pro, just like mixed together. I can't explain it, right? But every time I listen to him, I would think of, I'm like, okay, I understand why I would vibe with Umtizo because I love Uzola. But it's what he says, you know, authenticity. You can continue, you know, and the level of the authenticity, you know, it's so glaringly obvious. Umtizo personally, right? From the music that he listens to the way that he talks, to his approach, even in his pen, how he lives, you know. Ngeke ungabe inspired ukuphila ngendlela ofanele uphile ngayo in your most authentic self muhlala nabantu abanjalo, right? So Uzola is a, oh man, when it comes to your authenticity, you know, it's the same thing with Umambusi Mhlongo. The place where she was doing that was so real, even with Umashaya Bukagamamba. And then with Umashaya Bukagamamba, I would then speak about the Sonics, right? He played around with Amasonics. Incidentally, he's very inspired by Umambusi Mhlongo na Umashaya Bukagamamba, which is so crazy to us because we didn't know this until we listened to an interview. We're like, okay, it makes sense why we also like him. So sonically also, he then does, you know, crazy, which then influences us. So our influences that we then become, see, melting pot of all of these people that we've then spoken about. It's okay. You know, you look at Zola, you're like, okay, I see some of it, you know, even though it's not hood, but if, let's say, you then get the sense, Umambusi Mhlongo, you know, just listen to the music, you'll get it. And then Umashaya Bukagamamba, obviously, yeah.